Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Chris with myvaporsite.com, and I have a new toy to show you. It's not anything new, but it's kind of new to a lot of people. One of the local vape shops in our town just got them in, and I went ahead and grabbed a second one. I've been using this for about 2 months. This is the Lemo, which is my very favorite tank that I have ever used. Was it back in September, early September? I was visiting Beyond Vaping in Huntsville, Alabama, my friend Kurt Reynolds' shop up there, and they had just got them in, and I remembered that Demetrius, the Vaping Greek on YouTube, maybe you know him from that, he on his podcast he had mentioned it. He hadn't done his review yet, but he had mentioned it's pretty nice, and Kurt had them in. He had just gotten them in, so I decided I'd try them out. I got a really good price from Kurt on mine, and brought it home and retired all my K-Fun style RBAs. This is 85 to 90% of the time that I've vaped over the last 2 months have been with this tank, and I have not touched my K-Fun since. The airflow is superb. It's just an awesome vape. And 5 milliliters in a glass tank, man, you can't beat it. So anyway, I've got this black Sigelli 100-watt box mod, so I figured I would grab another one, and I haven't even opened it yet. I mean, I've opened it but not messed with it. So I'm going to have this black one for the Sigelli right here. So anyway, this is what we get in the box here. We get the actual device. Something fell behind me, which is in this little insert here. And it's made by eLeaf, by the way, and distributed by Joytech, I believe, here in the U.S. So in the box, underneath that insert there, got a little finger hole to take that little top part off, and everything's going to fall out. Some literature, the little manual, and some literature here. A little pack with extra O-rings and a little screwdriver that has Phillips and a flat, little small one. You got extra O-rings and screws in there. There's a screw that you fill for the fill hole in there, and they give you some Canthol, a little bag of Canthol, which is kind of neat. Feels like 28, and a little pack of cotton balls. And these come from China, so instead of Japanese cotton, this is China cotton. Okay, a little joke that wasn't very funny. So anyway, that's what's in the box. We'll put all this aside here, and we'll get the actual tank here, and I will show you this up close behind me over here. So, but anyway, it's a glass tank, 5 milliliter capacity, and you've got 4 air holes along the base there. I'll go ahead and show you that here while we're here. You got an adjustable 510 connector on the bottom there, and so you take this off, and from what I understand, this is an adapter. So you know, you shouldn't, unless you need to fill it up, obviously you shouldn't need to take this off. It could be, you know, if they made it differently, it could be solid and the fill hole could be here, but they've made this to where this fits on the eVic Supreme. The threading on the inner ring here that this threads into also threads directly on the eVic Supreme, which I don't have. So but anyway, you keep that in there. But in here you've got, let me find something to well, if you look really close, actually I'll show this to you on the close-up here in just a minute, but you see the screw there, that's where the fill hole. There's also, I actually top fill mine sometimes, but I'll show you behind me what we got going on there. Put this back together and reconvene behind me. Okay, we're here down a little close now. Let me get it even closer. This is the Lemo, like I said. This is a 5 milliliter glass tank. It is very similar to the K-Fun in the way that it operates. Looking on the bottom, like I showed you on the other camera, we've got a threaded 510 threaded connector with a flathead right there that you can adjust in case your device doesn't have a floating pin or an adjustable pin of itself. Like I said, this bottom base part with the 510 connector comes out, and it's just a simple piece of metal there, and this mates up against that to make contact, but this will go right onto the eVic Supreme. So on the bottom, and like I said, I was going to find something to show you this. You've got a little fill hole there. That is the screw for the fill hole. Let's get a little more light on the subject. Actually, it might be too much light. But anyway, what I really wanted to show you here is the airflow. If you look really close, there's a positive and a negative sign printed on this. And you have to get down in here with something like this screwdriver and catch this. There's two little ridges on either side, and you catch this to adjust the airflow. If you can see that moving, I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up on video, but it's really sensitive. It moves really easily, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. And the same with the actual screw. What I end up doing with the screw is I will take my Phillips and I will, wow, that's tight. I haven't touched this one yet. Ooh, yeah. You screw it out, and what I'll let it do is I fill it sideways like this, and I'll let this screw drop down in there. And it's really nice if you have a magnetic screwdriver like this one. So then I'll take my needle tip and I'll fill it up right here, and I'll keep it sideways so it doesn't come out the top. And then I'll take my screwdriver, and you know, never fails on video that it's not going to work out the way that you usually have it work out. And then I'll come over here and I'll back it off to make sure I don't cross thread it, and then bam, 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 screw it in. So we'll take this thing apart. It's got a removable drip tip, which I won't be using that. I'll probably be using this one instead. Yeah, that looks much nicer. And it comes apart. This glass is pressed into by unthreading the top here. This is threaded on here, and it threads onto the chimney here, and that's what pushes down the glass. There is a washer or grommet or whatever you want to call it down there at the base, and then there's one up here in the top, and it presses down and tightens up like that. So other than that, it's very similar. We'll take the chimney and everything apart and show you. Oh, and it's already pre-built. Let's see what they've got that built to. We have to put this back on, and I'm gonna guess my silver one, this one here that I've been using for 2 months, it had a 1.2 ohm build on it, so that's probably about where this is going to be. We'll try it out and see just before I take it apart. 1.11. So anyway, it builds just like a K-Fun, in the fact that, you know, with the chimney and all that, and you've got cotton through the coil. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart. I'm not going to use it. This actually looks better than the one that looks a lot nicer than the one that had on there, but it's a big wide one. So this is the default build that they got on there. Oh, they've got the posts through the post holes. You can actually put your coil on through there, or you can use the you know, put it underneath like on the K-Fun. Just let me find a K-Fun laying around here. There's one right there. I'm missing a screw on this one. Like with the K-Fun, you put your post under there and your coil above the airflow hole there, and then put the other side of the post under that screw. So that's the same way this one works. We'll go ahead and unscrew this. Unscrew that. Oh, good grief. I just dropped the screw. That's going to be interesting. We'll go ahead and take this out of those two holes there, and we're going to pause this so I can find that screw. Okay, luckily for me, I had an extra screw that came with the little bag that came with the actual device, so I wasn't able to find the one that fell onto the floor. So anyway, right here you can see where you would put your needle tip in, or however you fill it from the bottom, and a couple juice channels. And then you've got your posts and a nice huge air hole there. So basically what I'll do is I will take this, and I went ahead and pre-built a coil, and we'll see what it'll do. Okay, y'all have seen plenty of videos where people use you know, build the coils for you. So basically, kind of got it cocked at an angle there. I went ahead and used the screw holes since I normally go underneath the screw holes or the screws, like I said. Figure I'd try that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this Japanese cotton I've got here, and we're going to cut off a slice of it. Find my scissors. And we're going to throw this through this coil here and wick it up and put this thing back together and give it a whirl. Let me get this, pull a little bit of that out to make this front end a little better, easier to go through. You want to get it in there where it's tight but not too tight. So that's maybe a little too loose, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut off a little off each end here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the juice that I'm going to use, which is something new I got in today. It's called Magic Fairy. It's supposed to be a knockoff of Fluid. And we're going to get it wet here. And I'm going to try to get this to go up underneath, or into, you know, against the build deck there. Where are my tweezers? Right there in front of me. I may have put too much cotton in here, we'll see. May or may not work. But what I like to do is push that up against here. Make sure it's not obstructing the juice channel. And this is an abomination of an attempt here. I hate doing this on camera because, well, you know, it never works out right when you want to show somebody how it works. Anyway, and we're going to go over here. Try to do the same over there. That's good enough for government work. I'm going to find my pieces again. We've got the put this chimney back together, and there we go. Oh, I had this my voltmeter upside down. Not that it matters. Okay, so we got that in there, and I'm going to throw the chimney back on, and I'm going to take this off of here. Throw it on here. Actually, I've got that base tightened down so good that the whole thing's not going to come off at once. There we go. Get this cotton out of the way. Alright. Go ahead and put this on here. Good snug. We'll take a look at it. It's not seating all the way. I'm gonna have to adjust the center pin a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust it on the Lemo rather than on my actual atomizer. Go ahead and got some juice on there. It's really tight. So actually, you know what, let's just do a little turn on here. I don't feel like breaking that screw off right now. Alright, let's see if that'll work. There we go. It's reading at a 1.1, so I'll crank that up to about, let's say 4 watts, or 15 watts, so it'll give me about 4 volts. Yep, there we go. Let's see if you can see that. So anyway, I got a little juice on there, so there you go. Alright, so that worked. It's working, and I don't see it shorting out, so what we'll do is I will go ahead and put this back together. Like I said, this glass is form fitted, or not form fitted, press fitted, so it uses the threading on the top of that chimney there, and it threads into that and brings it down to, there you go. So we'll throw a drip tip in there, and there we have it. That's what it's going to look like for me. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take this back off again, and I'm going to show you how to fill this up.
Tell you what, instead of showing you how to fill it up on this one, because I don't want to put the flavor that I have, a needle tip, in on this one, I'm going to put this new stuff in. What I'll do is I'll show you how to do it on this one. So let me reach behind me and grab the bottle. I'm going to put some some of this in there. This is a 475 milliliter bottle of Thug Juice. But let's show you here. Alright, so you're going to take, a Phillips head screwdriver, and you're going to get on that screw and twist it out. And like I said, I like to kind of get it to lay down right there in the bottom so I don't have to put it back in there later. So, and I like to use a needle tip. Get up in there and I keep it at a pretty horizontal and push it in there, and that's it. I'm not going to fill it all the way up. That's good enough for now. And I'll get back over here and maybe this time I'll do it better. I'll find the screw hole there and we'll get in there and screw it down. And there we have it. I didn't fill it all the way, but good enough. So that's how you're supposed to fill this thing. However, I actually fill it from the top pretty often because, well, if you do it properly, you won't make any mess, and it's a lot easier than this. So I'll do that with the Lemo. Let me go ahead and put it back on there, or with this black one. Go ahead and put this back on top of the device just to have something to sit it on. And what I do here is, like I said, the glass is press fitted. So if you take your fingers and you hold down the glass to where it's still making on the bottom and it's sealed just good enough, and you take the top, actually let's get it loose without taking it off the device. Alright, there we go. I got it loose now. So I'm going to hold down the glass and I'm just going to simply take the top part off. Take my juice, fill it up, making sure that you still have a good, good grip on the glass. And I don't think I got any. Let a little bit get out the sides there, and then screw it back on. And if you do that right, you won't lose any juice on the sides here around the base. But I got a little bit on me, I guess, just a little bit while I was pushing down on it. So, but there we have it. That was filled from the side, or from the top, excuse me. And you might want to pull on it a couple times to get the vacuum going again. So, but anyway, that is how you fill bottom and top fill. And like I said, these are the two colors. You got the stainless steel and the black. So anyway, I will get back over there behind me at the desk, and I will show you how it bakes. Alright, we're back up here, and like I said, we're all good to go. We got it on there. Got some Magic Fairy from a company that took, well, it's called Magic Fairy from Good Life Vapor. I'll just say that. And we got it at 1.1 volt or ohms, and I'm hitting it at 15 watts. About 3.94 volts. That's pretty good. Now, if I had some different types of juice to put in there that's a little thicker with more VG, obviously make some bigger clouds. I've got the airflow turned down pretty good, but still a really good vape. It's smooth, airy, and you can't ask for anything more. Pluses and minuses on it. Beauty-wise, it's beautiful. Some people don't like how tall it is, but I mean, you've got 5 milliliters right there. I mean, well, that's not 5 milliliters. I'm probably looking at about 3 right there. But positives, it's the best vape I've had from a rebuildable atomizer tank.
I mean, it's better than the Nautilus, but you know, we're talking about different classifications of Nautilus. This guy has replaceable coils. As far as rebuildables are concerned, I've tried what was it called, the Orchid. I've tried. I actually own 6 K-Funds, and I loved them until I got this, and now I'm on 2 of these. So, best flavor, best airflow of any rebuildable tank that I've used, and I've used a lot. Glass, that's a positive. No negatives at all. Well, the negatives that I have, the airflow is a little difficult to fool with, as you can see when I was down low over there. You've got to take a screwdriver and kind of adjust it, and it's a hit or miss kind of thing. The screw hole for, you know, filling it with like a needle tip or a smaller end cap, I don't like where it's at. You actually have to take off the 510 adapter to get to it. I don't like that. That's why I choose to top fill whenever possible. The drip tips that come with it, don't like them at all. They're too long. They go up like that high, and it's just ridiculous looking. So other than that, there's nothing. I mean, you know, the price range, 35 to 45, depending on where you get it. You can't beat that. You can't beat it at all. And this, I mean, it's an authentic. It's not. Well, I mean, it's technically a clone of a K-Fund, but it's a better done K-Fund. The airflow with the 4 holes down here around the bottom, superb. I actually turned down the airflow about halfway on mine. So anyway, my name is Chris, myvaporsite.com, and this is a little first look review, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I've used it for 2 months, so I think I can speak from the review standpoint on it instead of, you know, some people just get something, use it for like 10 minutes and then make a review. Can't do that. Awesome. Well worth the money. If you are into RBAs, this is the best one that I've used to date. Thanks for watching.